Next is the factor affecting the magnitude of the crystal field splitting. There are four main factors which can affect the value of the delta, that is the crystal field splitting in case of octahedral, tetrahedral and square planar complexes. So let us consider them one by one. Let us consider first one, nature of ligands. It is also called spectrochemical series. The crystal field splitting depends on the nature of the ligand. The greater the ease with which ligand can approach the central metal ion, the greater is the crystal field splitting caused by it. Thus, the ligand that bring about crystal field splitting to a smaller extent are called weak field ligand, and those which bring about crystal field splitting to a larger extent are called strong field ligand. The ligand which exert a strong field give rise to high value of delta, while a weak field ligand give rise to low value of the delta. So it is possible to arrange the ligand into a series that reflect their ability to split the d orbital, and this series is called spectrochemical series. This spectrochemical series is essentially the same no matter what the metal ion is. Thus, if we can take the water as a ligand, while we can comparing it with chloride ligand, then splitting for the water, that is always higher, whether it is cobalt 2 positive, whether it is cobalt 3 positive, iron 2 positive, iron 3 positive, nickel 2 positive, platinum 4 positive, chromium 3 positive, irrespective of the type of the ligand taken. There are three major points which you have to keep in your mind. First one is that larger the negative charge and small size will produce larger crystal field splitting, that is delta, as they can approach the metal ion closely, causing large energy difference between the d orbital. For example, fluoride ions causes greater crystal field splitting than the large halide ions such as chloride and bromide ion. So first factor is larger negative charge and small size, that will produce larger crystal field splitting, that is delta. Then second one, more basic uncharged polar ligand produce greater crystal field splitting than other. For example, ammonia is neutral and it is a stronger base than water, so it will produce greater crystal field splitting. So it is the second factor. Then third factor is that ligands involving multiple bonds such as cyanide ion and nitro ion produce greater crystal field splitting. The very high crystal field splitting caused by cyanide ligand is double that caused by a weak field ligand such as halide ions, and this may be due to pi bonding in the metals. So on the basis of dependence of value of delta on the type of ligand, it is possible to arrange the ligand on the basis of their field strength that will produce in any metal ion. So this one is the spectrochemical series. On the left hand side, the ligand are kept which are having weak field, and on the right hand side the ligand are kept which are having stronger field. So when we can move from left to right, the crystal field splitting that will increase. So in other words, we can say that the ligand on the left hand side, they are the weak field ligand and cause lesser crystal field splitting, and on the right hand side are the stronger field ligand and they will cause larger crystal field splittings. And on the other hand, the ligand on the left hand side, they will produce complexes with high spin, and ligand on the right hand side, they will produce complexes with low spin. This electrochemical series is an experimentally determined series. So let us compare some complexes. First one is the complex which having chloride ion as a ligand, and it is a weak field ligand. Similarly, fluoride ion, it is also a weak field ligand. So the value of delta for these two complexes are low. Similarly, ligand ammonia, ethylene diamines, and with cyanide, they are strong field ligand. So the value of delta for these three complexes, that is very high. Similarly, the water ligand, it will having intermediate effect. So the value for this complex, that is lying in between weak field ligand and strong field ligand. Let us consider one more examples. This one is the chromium complex with fluoride ligand. As we know that it is a weak field ligand. So the value for delta, that is lesser in this case. Then for water, it will having intermediate field. So the value of delta in this case, that will also have the intermediate value. Then for ammonia, and finally for cyanide, the value that would be higher. The maximum value that belongs from the cyanide ion. So as we move from left to right in a spectrochemical series, the value of delta, that is the crystal field splitting, increase down. So it is all about the nature of the ligand and spectrochemical series. Then next one is the oxidation state of central metal ions. The oxidation state of central metal ion also influence the magnitude of the crystal field splitting. The metal ion with higher oxidation state causes larger crystal field splitting than the ion with lower oxidation state. So let us consider few examples. So first one is the complex that will having iron with 2 positive oxidation state, and the second one the iron that will having 3 positive oxidation state. For the complex that will having 2 positive oxidation state will having lower value of delta, while the complex that will having higher value of the oxidation state having higher value of the crystal field subplatings. Similarly, these are the two examples of cobalt. First one having 2 positive oxidation state and second one having 3 positive oxidation state. The complex that will having 2 positive oxidation state having delta value that is 9300, while complex with 3 positive oxidation state having 18600 value of the delta. So it is very much clear from this table, higher the oxidation state, larger is the value of the delta. And this effect is probably due to the fact that the central ion with higher oxidation state will polarize the ligand more effectively, and thus ligand would approach such a cation more closely than they can do due to the cation of lower oxidation state, and resulting in a larger subplating of the d orbital. Now compare two different cations which have same number of d electron and same geometry of the complex, but they are having different charges. So let us compare a complex of vanadium which will having oxidation state 2 positive, and another complex is of chromium that will having oxidation state 3 positive. The one thing common to these complexes is that both will having 3 electron in their d orbital. In these complexes, it has been observed that the delta O value for vanadium complex that is less than that of the chromium complex. So for vanadium it is near about 12,400, and for chromium complex it is 17,830 centimeter inverse 1. It can be explained in terms of the charge on the cation. In these complexes, chromium 3 positive ion which has greater positive charge than vanadium 2 positive ion, which exert a greater attraction for water molecule as comparison to vanadium 2 positive ion. Hence the water molecule approach the chromium 3 positive ion more closely than they approach the vanadium 2 positive ion. So in case of chromium 3 positive ion, the water molecule exert a stronger crystal field effect on the subplating of the d orbitals. Similarly, for the element of first transition series, the crystal field subplating of trivalent ions that is in range of 40,000 to 25,000 centimeter inverse 1, and it is nearly 2 times as comparison to divalent ion that will having range in between 7,500 to 12,500 centimeter inverse 1. So it is all about the oxidation state of the central metal ion. Next is the type of the d orbital. In this case, we can compare the extent of the crystal field splitting of first transition series with second and third transition series. So while we can comparing these series, the extent of crystal field splitting for similar complexes of a metal ion in the same oxidation state will be increased by about 30 to 50% as we can going from 3D series, that is first transition series, to 4D series, which is second transition series. Similarly, this increase is almost same, having magnitude 30 to 50% on going from 4D series to 5D series, that is third transition series. It may be explained on the basis that 4D orbital in comparison to 3 orbital are larger or bigger in size and extend further into the space. As a result, the electron in 4D orbital can interact more strongly with the electron in the ligand orbital, and therefore crystal field splitting is more. Similarly, 5D orbital are bigger than 4D orbital, and hence the value of delta for these complexes is high as comparison to the third transition series. So let us compare few complexes. The first one is the cobalt complex having same ligand and same oxidation state. Second one is the ruthenium, and third one, that is the iridium. Cobalt belongs from first transition series, ruthenium belongs from second transition series, and iridium belongs from fifth transition series. All these complexes having 6 electrons in their d orbital. The difference is that cobalt involve filling of 3D orbital, ruthenium involve filling of 4D orbital, and iridium involve filling of 5D orbital. So it is very much clear from this table, as we move from first to second transition series, the value of delta that will increase, and while we can move from second to third transition series, the value will further increased. So we can say that as we move from 3D to 4D series, and then further 4D to 5D series, the extent of crystal field splitting that will increase by about 30 to 50% irrespective of the nature of the ligand and the oxidation states. Then last is geometry of the complex. As we have already discussed in our previous lecture, that the value of delta for tetrahedral complexes is smaller than that of an octahedral complexes with same ligand at the same distance from the central ion and region has also been explained. The splitting energy of tetrahedral complexes, that is delta T, is nearly half the value of octahedral complexes. That is delta T, it is equal to 0.45 delta O, and similarly for square planar complexes it is equal to 1.3 delta O. So we can say that With the change of geometry of the complexes, the value of delta also change, and the scale planar complexes that will having the maximum value of for splitting of the d orbital, and the tetrahedral complexes that will having the minimum value. So it is all about the factor affecting the crystal field splittings. Then next is importance of crystal field theory. The crystal field theory is concerned with effect of the external electric field due to the ligand on the relative energy level of the d orbital of the central atom or ion, causing their splitting in various fields. The nature of splitting determines the distribution of the electron among the orbitals and hence lead to the interpretation of the magnetic and spectroscopic properties. Irrespective of these properties, it is also useful in the discussion of distorted structure, thermodynamic properties and kinetic properties. So it is all about the importance of the crystal field theory. Next is the limitation of crystal field theory. Let us consider it. The first point is that crystal field theory consider the metal ion of d orbital and give no consideration at all to the other metal orbitals such as s orbital, px, py and pz orbital. Therefore, to explain all the property of the complexes which depend on the pi ligand orbital will be outside the scope of this crystal field theory. And other word, crystal field theory does not consider the formation of the pi bonding in the complexes. So that pi bonding has no place in crystal field theory. It does not consider the possibility of double bonding between metal ion and the ligand. For example, the existence of carbonyl complexes can be attributed only to the formation of multiple bonds. This cannot be explained by this theory. Then second point, crystal field theory is unable to account satisfactorily for the relative strength of the ligand. For example, it gives no explanation as why water appear in the spectrochemical series as a stronger ligand as comparison to the hydroxyl ions. Then third one is that according to crystal field theory, the bond between the metal and ligand is purely ionic and it gives no account of the partially covalent nature of the metal ligand bond. Next is that it gives no information about the charge transfer bond. And last point is that it becomes less accurate as delocalization of ligand, electron and orbital become important. Then comparison between crystal field theory and balanced theory. The first one is the type of the bond. According to crystal field theory, the bonding between metal cation and negative end of the ligand is assumed to be purely ionic in nature, while on the basis of valence bond theory, it is covalent in nature. Then splitting of d orbitals. According to crystal field theory, it will involve only splitting of d orbital, while according to valence bond theory, it does not involve any splitting of d orbitals. Then hybridization. In case of crystal field theory, there is no any concept of hybridization, while valence bond theory is entirely based upon the hybridization of metal ion before the complex formation. Then magnetic property. According to crystal field theory, it will help to predict the variation of the magnetic moment with the temperature for the complexes for which delta value are closely to pairing energy, while valence bond theory is failed to explain for the variation of magnetic property on the basis of variation of the temperature. Then color or spectral property. Crystal field theory offer explanation of the color of the complexes, while valence bond theory does not offer any explanation for the color. Last one is the geometry. Crystal field theory offer explanation for the distortion of the regular geometry of the molecule, while valence bond theory is failed to explain the distortion in the geometry of the molecules. On the basis of crystal field theory, we can explain kinetic, thermodynamic and spectrochemical properties, while on the basis of valence bond theory, we does not explain these properties. So it is a comparison between crystal field theory and valence bond theory.